Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captaining, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It will only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. We have bubble wrap, followed by more bubble wrap. In conjunction with having bubble wrap, we also have a myriad of action figures. The box is not devoid of its contents, so it can be relegated to the trash. It can be consigned to the trash. Does it have a pragmatic use anymore? No, I'm not going to reutilize it. It served its purpose. Alrighty. The figurines that are obscured by bubble wrap are about to be revealed. I'm going to render them transparent. We have a plethora of Mortal Kombat figurines consolidated into one bag. Off the get-go, we have Baraka. I believe he's derived from the Mortal Kombat Deception action figure line. You can verify that for yourself. He's missing one of his blades. Unfortunately, to my dismay, he lacks finger joint articulation. He lacks an ankle pivot. His elbows and his knees are both double jointed. That's a plus. He lacks a diaphragm joint. His head is not relegated to a disc joint. It is seemingly relegated to a ball joint. He also has spikes protruding out of his head. I love his novelties. I love his deco. I love his sculpt. I love his hues. I love his aesthetics. I love his shadings and his textures. He's a robust, stellar figurine. My only gripe appertaining to this figurine is that he's lacking a blade. He lacks finger joint articulation. He lacks a diaphragm joint. He lacks an ankle pivot. And his head is not relegated to a disc joint. His latitude for articulation is finite. Nonetheless, he's still a meritorious figurine. His appearance emulates Baraka's appearance. Not bad on behalf of his manufacturers, or his manufacturer. Followed by the notorious, infamous, legendary Baraka. We have the one and only sadistic, coercive, diabolical, menacing, cunning, conniving reptile. He seems to have more articulation than the aforementioned figurine. He can swivel his waist. He can rotate his wrists. The forearms cannot be rotated separately from the biceps. He can also move his arms inwards and outwards at your own discretion. He can rotate his head. He could ascend his legs and descend them. He lacks finger joint articulation. He lacks a diaphragm joint. He lacks an ankle rocker. He has peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet. Fortunately, he's not marred with scratches or scuffs that unequivocally impair his appearance. He seems to have some minor scuffs, but they're negligible. from a distance, they're arduous to notice and pinpoint, so it's not too much of a gripe, but it does agitate me a bit, to say the least. Let's move on. Next we have Sub-Zero. I believe he's the older brother of the younger Sub-Zero. Does he supersede the younger Sub-Zero in terms of physical prowess and in the context of strengths and the context of the hierarchy of ranks? Perhaps. I'm not well acclimated with this character's lore. He's an enigma. He may have succumbed to death in Mortal Kombat Deception. I think his appearance trumps the appearance of his younger brother, who's also known by the moniker of Sub-Zero. I believe he's derived from the Lin Kuei clan. You can verify that for yourself. His joints are relatively sturdy. I love that he has a fisted hand. I would have preferred if his other hand was fisted, but if his other hand was fisted, then he couldn't wield his ice sword. So, I don't have any major gripes appertaining to this figurine either. I'm content, I'm buoyant, I'm jubilant, I'm gratified. I'm satiated, to say the least. Followed by Sub-Zero, we have his rival, his nemesis, the one and only, notorious, sadistic Scorpion. Is he revered by other ninja? Perhaps. He's supposed to be neutral, apparently. He seems evil, though. Is this figurine abysmal? Well, I would have preferred if there wasn't an aperture in one of his hands. I would have preferred if they had finger joint articulation. I would have preferred if they were both fisted, or at least semi-clenched together. His wardrobe as attire cannot be removed. His shoulder pads cannot be adjusted. There's no hinge in them to allow you to ascend them or descend them. They're permanently pre-posed. Despite my minor complaints, despite my trivial complaints, this figurine is just stupendous. I love his sculpt. He truly emulates Scorpion's appearance from the Mortal Kombat Deception game. These figurines likely have over 15 points of articulation. They're almost on par with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. Of course, that's my humble, subjective opinion. You may staunchly disagree with my opinion, and you're entitled to do so. So by all means, buy both of them and assess whether they're akin to one another or not. Compare and contrast them. Analyze their pros and cons. Be meticulous. But from my point of view, they seem to be similar to one another in multiple facets. Just like the Toy Biz Marvel Legends, they stand at least 6 inches tall. They have ample points of articulation. They have high quality, robust sculpts. They have high quality deco, high quality shittings, high quality aesthetics, visually appealing hues, and their appearances emulate the appearances seen of these characters within the video games. In other words, their appearances emulate their video game appearances. That sounded awkward and uncanny, so I revamped it. Nonetheless, let's move on. I digress. This figurine is just phenomenal. I love his nitty-gritty details. I love the spikes protruding out of his shoulder pads. I love his hammer that he can utilize to subdue his adversaries. He can beat them to a bloody pulp. He can pummel them to death. I love how his biceps and his abs accentuate his physical prowess. This is Shao Kahn, the ruler of the Nether Realm. His skirt doesn't really impede his movements. They're not very much encumbered by his skirt. You can move his legs inwards or outwards at your own discretion. Again, these figurines are seemingly not marred or inundated with dings, dents, scratches, nor scuffs. He has a mask to conceal his face. He's incognito, to say the least. Well, maybe not so. Everyone knows who he is, so he can't be inconspicuous in the Nether Realm. This figurine is sticky. Here we have Johnny Cage, the celebrity. He's revered amongst his fans. He's not adorned with too much attire. I love his shades. I love his forearm guards. Fortunately, both of his hands are fisted. I just noticed that. All of his fingers are clenched together. His head is relegated to a ball joint, so you can rotate it and ascend it or descend it. He lacks a diaphragm joint, so he's akin to the other Mortal Kombat figurines, articulation-wise. I'm unsure why he's sticky. It's an enigma. I guess I'll have to leave him on the floor. Unfortunately, the integrity of his joints has been compromised in the context of the joints embedded in his right leg. The joint in the pelvis seems to be a bit loose. I hope it doesn't cause the leg to become severed. I don't want my figurines to become dismembered, but if it transpires, there's nothing I can do to remedy the situation. I'm the victim of my own decisions. I procured these figurines knowing that they were not in mint condition, and thus face the repercussions. Dealing with figurines with loose joints, so I need to wash my hands. But before I end this video, I just want to briefly showcase the figurines that I just flaunted in front of the camera one final time. I love these 6 figurines. I have other figurines that are relegated to the bag. I'll unbox the remnants of the Mortal Kombat action figure lot in a future video, so stay tuned for that. I would have preferred if these figurines came bundled with more armaments. I would have preferred if they had finger joint articulation. I would have preferred if they had diaphragm joints. I would have preferred if they could perform ankle pivots. I would have preferred if their fingers were semi-clenched together, if not fully clenched together, rather than being open. Some of them have fisted hands, others have open hands. It just depends, but in general I would have preferred if they either had finger joint articulation, fisted hands, or at least fingers that I semi-clenched together. But I can't modify the past, nor can I revamp my action figures. I'm not going to refine them. I'm not going to augment them. I'm not going to tamper with their joints. I'm not going to fiddle with their joints. I don't need them to become decimated. Furthermore, I don't have the time to do so. It's a daunting, debilitated, stress-inducing process to customize action figures. Of course, that's my own subjective opinion. Your sentiments appertaining to the topic may be disparate from mine, and if they are, please feel free to relay them via the comment section below. Anyways, I hope that this video appeased you. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. If you're an avid, devout Mortal Kombat fan, then I recommend and advocate procuring Mortal Kombat figurines. I love the 6-inch Mortal Kombat figurines that coincide eminently well with the 6 to 7-inch prodigious action figure collection. They look epic. They're ineffable. I can't describe in words. I cannot delineate how grateful I am to have these figurines. They have tremendous intrinsic value. They also command a staggering, hefty premium price on the second-hand market, so you can resell them if you ever decide to in the future, to help defray the costs associated with initially buying them. I procured these figurines via eBay. I have no qualms about my purchase and decision. I'm going to take a break real briefly, and then I'll unbox the remainder of the lot in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. These figurines are marvelous. I just would have preferred if they had more armaments, more articulation. And that's about all I can say in the context of improvements. But for under $20 per figurine, I'm going to reserve my complaints. I knew what I was getting into prior to the advent of procuring these figurines. I shouldn't expect anything different than what the picture showcases and reveals. So here's Johnny Cage one final time, next to Shao Kahn. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that you're jubilant, buoyant, content, and gratified. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.